What do you make of tonight's Idol?
It was a circus. It was crazy. I mean, I just gotta say, I'm glad we used the save on Casey.
Yes.
If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have had that moment, which was bizarre and kind of Fellini-esque film. You with the beard, Steven with the tongue, the kiss, the cursing. It was all like, what's happening? I really felt like, where am I?
Well, I looked at your face, Randy. Randy was also shocked and like waving his hands back and forth, and there was a moment where I think we all sort of wondered what's happened to the show right now, right?
Yeah, but kind of we all were loving it and enjoying it too, which I kind of liked.
Did you find it surprising how a lot of them hit on the right cylinders?
Yeah, I mean, this group is so, like, I'm honest when I say, when we were watching back, you know, when they play back their little bits of their performance at the end, and you hear one voice, and then you hear another voice, and the third one's just as good, and the next one's even better, and the next one's, and you're like, oh my God. I mean, seriously, they're all so good. You have to say, you just don't know who's going to win. It's about who has the most consistent performances and who wows us every week. I think that is going to get the most votes, and then whoever just doesn't is just going to get voted off.
Now, we talked about how you've watched the show every year from the house. Now you're in the show. Would
Right.
you be saying the same thing at home?
Yes. Yeah, I would. I totally would. I'd be like, wow. They have some good performers this year. I mean, seriously, think about it back to back and think about seasons past. When you would see the performances, you're like, oh, that was good. That was okay. That was good. Oh, he's always great. But this one, it's like voice after voice after voice after big voice after amazing performance. It's hard for us as judges, I have to tell you, because we are like, you know, we're going to be really tough on them right now. Okay, next one. You know what I mean? We have to do it for the next person, and so it's been tough.
Well, you've been, what I love about your role in the show is you're really honest. I mean,
Yeah.
you said the other night, I know people want me to be tough, but I can't be because you're all great right now.
Right.
Have you felt from day one that comfort zone being on the show?
I kind of have. I don't know. I have a real point of view about music. I love it. It's what I do. It's my life. I've been doing it for so long. I've been performing. I've been singing. I've been recording. I know the business, you know? So when I watch people, just like I did at home when I was watching the show, I had a real opinion. And luckily, I can voice it in a way not only that I'm proud of, but that communicates, that people kind of can relate to and understand. And I think that's what's kind of cool about it.
When the notion was first brought up to you
Right.
about being on American Idol, what
Right.
was the knee-jerk response? What was your first thought?
No.
Why?
It just wasn't in my plans for my career. You know, I was like, I got movies, I got music coming out this year, I really want to go on tour, and you know, I just didn't know how it was gonna fit in. It just wasn't something I was thinking about doing. And I loved the show. I was like, yeah, who's gonna be the new judge? You know what I mean? But I didn't think it was gonna be me. But then I thought about it, and I was like, I do love the show, and it could be fun. And the record's not coming out till this time, so maybe I can do it at that time. You know what I mean? It just kind of worked out. And then the big major thing, when Mark and I sat down and talked about it, was like, be nice to be in one place with the babies.
Right.
They've been traveling since they were like 3 weeks old. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that was a major consideration too. So when I looked at my whole life and where I was and the kind of freedoms that I had to choose to do what I wanted to do and what felt right, at the end of the day, I just went with my gut.
Well, you know, you didn't have to do it. You took the risk, you did it. At what point did you say, this is working? This is clicking.
Yeah, I just, from the, you know, very early on, even before the show started airing, I just felt like, this is awesome. This is amazing. I love doing this. And I know since it's cameras and they capture really what's going on that, and I saw what was happening with Randy and I and you and Steven, and I just thought to myself, this is good. This feels good. We're having a good time. That's gonna show. And I thought that people would enjoy it. And so early on, I thought, hey, this is good. But of course, then when it started airing and the ratings were good and all that, okay. That was
That's
good
nice.
too.
But it wasn't what you expected, was it?
No.
I mean, even being on this side and being on the show for so many years, it's just different than what we thought it would be like, in a great way.
Yeah. I don't know. It's funny, knowing the show so well, and like you said, now being on it, I didn't know what I expected. I didn't expect anything. I just expected to have fun, to try and have fun and enjoy the process and enjoy the journey and see, you know, and have fun with some great people, because I knew you, I knew Randy, you know, I knew Nigel a little bit, and, you know, I knew people from the show, so I just knew we'd have a good time.
We were together, I think, when we first met Steven for the show.
Right.
All of us got together the night before we started to work together. What was your first impression of Steven Tyler?
Of Steven? You know, he has a very unique way of expressing himself and talking, and so it was kind of like it took me a minute to kind of catch on to his cadence and his whole, you know, vocabulary.
Yeah.
You know, like how he expresses himself is so, you know, individual to him. I was just like, oh, okay, yeah. Oh, I get it. But every once in a while, we would connect on something, because he's very kind of open kind of soul, like very soulful. I like to say that about him, because that's what it is. He has soul. And so when you're talking to him, you know, you feel what he's saying. And, you know, he's like, you know what I mean, man? And I'm like, yeah, I do know what you mean. You know, and we just connected from that very first night.
You look at your career, you look at what's happening with this show, you look at the cover of People magazine, the most beautiful woman in the world, not to embarrass you, but to make a point. You look at the smash single, the record coming up. Why is all this happening for you right now?
I don't know.
I mean, it seems like this is an incredible moment for you.
It is an amazing moment. It's an amazing moment. I think maybe because I was ready for it, you know? I think, you know, you have a career and you work really hard to build something, to create things, and it's a journey, and it's up and it's down and it's all things, but it's your journey, and whatever happens, you know, you just got to be happy in that. And I think I've just gotten to the point in my life where I'm just happy in that, in my life, in my skin, in my body, and in what I have to offer. And finally, like, I don't know, just comfortable with myself in the best way, and I'm able to give the best of myself now. And I think the babies had a lot to do with that, and changing me as a person as well, and having a really good personal life as well. So, you know, it's a good time.
Have you thought about being a permanent fixture on the show? That's the burning question.
Yeah, of course. You know, here's what's the great thing about this moment for me. There's tons of possibilities, and I'm open to whatever God has in store for me down the line. And whatever it is, I'm gonna do my best.
And you've got this album coming out in a couple of weeks,
yes,
which is very exciting. Why is this record special for you?
Because it's been a few years in the making. It's not just the past 2 years, which I've been saying in a lot of interviews. As I think about it now, it's been many years in the making. It's been since the first time I fell in love in the making. You know what I mean? And started wondering, what the heck is going on? I hate this. I love this. I don't, you know what I mean? It's that topic. And, you know, Love ? Is a culmination of me realizing that the questions never end. That there's always something else to learn. There's always somewhere else to go when it comes to love. And you should challenge yourself, and you should try to be better always, and question, is this right for me? Am I doing the right thing? This, that, I mean, you have to do that, you know, and this album is that special for me, you know. It's fun, it's a dance album. It has, you know, my R&B and street flavor to it, my Jenny from the Block side, as well as my, like, what people like to say, my dance side, the Waiting for Tonight side, but it has all that, and it's great beats and great melodies, but when you get past all the party and you listen, you'll see I am asking some questions, and I feel like I'm expressing some emotions that a lot of people feel. You know, will I ever find my true love? What is love? Is this right? Should I be in a relationship like this? You know, that feeling of when your heart is broken and you think you're just gonna die and you just can't go on, and you meet somebody new, and then it starts all over again, and life is renewed.
And I know, and I feel like you do. You take those feelings that you have and you put into your own records, and you try and tell the contestants to think that way, or have a train of thought when they're singing their lyrics, right?
Yeah, because that's what being an artist is. You know, you can have the technicality of being a good singer. You can you know, be able to sing. A lot of people can sing, as you see when we're on the road. But the artists are the people who have a message to put to that music and something to express to the world. And you have a point of view, you know, whatever that is. You know, if you think of the great artists of our time, you know, Bruce Springsteen, it's that working man's struggle, or Madonna, you know, challenging religion and sex, or Michael Jackson, who wanted to kind of like spread love in the world in his way. You know what I mean? Everybody has a message, and it becomes part of your expression. That comes through in the music, and that's what I try to tell the kids. You know, it's not just about getting up there and hitting who hits the biggest notes, as you see. That doesn't keep you on the show. It's about who can connect, who can make somebody feel something. You can make them smile, you can make them think, you can make them go, I love that song! You know what I mean? You know, just all of those things. That's what being an artist is do I feel what you feel?
I don't know. I feel happy. I feel happy you're on the show. I'm glad you said yes, and I hope you stick around. Deal?
Yeah.
Thanks for chatting.
Thank you, baby.